It's easy to say that 2023 was another disastrous year for Disney, whether it was the box office, whether it was PR nightmares, whether it was lawsuits, whatever you can think of, it went wrong for Disney in 2023.
Hey, Bob.
Despite the fact that this was supposed to be Bob Iger turning things around, it was anything but that. They were losing billions of dollars and everything went wrong. Well, after starting off the new year, starting out 2024 with some bad news like Steamboat Willie, the Mickey Mouse copyright, finally becoming public domain, we've got another lawsuit against Disney. And this does not sound great, Jeremy, for the company that wants you to believe all women.
Bathroom issues in your bed.
We have this. Disney employee sues company over alleged cover-up of sexual assault by executive. The plaintiff, suing as Jane Doe, claims she was assaulted by former Vice President of Distribution Nolan Gonzalez, and that management refused to escalate concerns to human resources despite complaints from other women. Now, this is the same company that's getting sued by 9,000 women in California for not paying them as much as the men. Man.
And see, like, on the surface, I don't care if a company's being sued or is caught up in some legal mumbo jumbo. Welcome to literally every day, probably. You know what I mean? It's when you have virtue signaled so hard.
It could be used to unfairly target gay, lesbian, non-binary, and transgender kids and families.
When you have tried to project all of this bullshit onto the audience, when you have put all of this messaging out there, whether it's with your company messages, whether it's with your films, whether it's with your hiring, and now when you've done this as a company, when you've put all of your marbles in this basket, eggs in this basket, suddenly like, oh, respect women. We have to do more for women. We have to get more diversity. We have to have more representation. Women deserve better. And then you're facing all of these accusations and allegations. It has to be called out. It has to be noted that you have been projecting all of this stuff out there publicly while internally you're falling apart. And everything you've been preaching publicly within the walls of your company, you've been ignoring real problems, allegedly. And that's why it needs to be called out.
This is the company that fired Johnny Depp, right? Over allegations.
Bathroom issues in your bed.
So this is why it's funny, right? Normally you would give the benefit of the doubt, say, well, let's see what happens. Why didn't this person go to police? Blah, blah, blah. But this is Disney. The ones who have been preaching to believe all women, unless they say something that might destroy our company, then we don't pay them as much and we make sure to bury their fucking allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles Superior Court says Disney repeatedly refused to escalate concerns about Nolan Gonzalez, former VP of distribution, despite several complaints, creating an environment in which he was free to harass women with impunity. Management was incentivized to hide his harassment because he generated valuable revenue. By the way, this person was let go from the company in 2022, reportedly after more allegations. So just for the record.
I plead the fifth.
This is crazy, though. The plaintiff, soon as Jane Doe, alleged that Gonzalez assaulted her several times in 2017 through the use of ecstasy and a date drug. She got roofied when she was incapacitated, and then used his position of power and blackmail to force her to have sex with him, according to the complaint. When she tried to cut contact, he threatened to release intimate videos of their encounters and ruin her career. Again, let me give some benefit of the doubt. Could I see a situation where these two just had a fucking consensual affair, and then this person is trying to say, oh, I'm going to do this, do that. And someone's like, well, I've got these videos of you. I can ruin. Of course, 1000%. I could see this happening. It's all be complete and total bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Disney. Believe all women. Believe all women unless they say something that might, destroy your company. So now she's suing Disney. Disney's going to have to deal with yet another high-profile lawsuit. And the thing is, I guarantee they don't want discovery for this.
But I can tell you that I plead the fifth.
That's the one thing they absolutely do not want, is any type of discovery that goes through potentially seeing who may have known about this or who didn't know about this.
Even if you're looking at like other companies, I don't think you could find the amount of problems at other major companies that Disney is facing right now. You know what I mean? Like it's really bad. And you have to think that at some point in time, this is all going to collapse on them. How is Bob Iger still the CEO of the company in a publicly traded company like this with the board and all of that? How is he still the CEO? He has done, look, let's call it like it is. Regardless of how you feel about Bob Iger, he has done a good job with the company up till around 2015. Everything was rocking and rolling. He wasn't a lot of the theme park fans were not a fan of Bob Iger, but at the end of the day, financially, they were doing wonderful. They were able to buy up all of these IPs. It now is at a point where it has all fallen apart. All over the place, no matter where you look. There's not one strong area of Disney right now that you can look to and say, that's operating correctly. That's operating correctly. All of it is operating in a catastrophic way. And I don't know how Bob Iger still has a job. I don't get it. Like, how many times have we seen companies of this magnitude have a CEO that's a disaster and they remove him? I don't know how he's still there, but he is. But I feel like 2024, I don't think Bob Iger survives 2024.
I think he does.
That's my prediction. Bob Iger doesn't survive 2024.
I think he shores it up and gets enough other investors on his side to make sure that he's there and that he's got a lot of yes men. I think he's there, and I think 2025 or something, he steps down again. 2025, 2026, steps down and has his replacement groomed and ready to go. No pun intended.
Time will tell.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.